Hello, today we are going to talk to you about how to complete and understand your EPA ID number verification questionnaire. Now when you get this information in the mail, your package will typically include 3 items. The first one is your EPA verification questionnaire. Second one is your Schedule A manifest calculation sheet. And the third one is your Schedule B fees summary sheet. Now in some cases you may also have a frequently asked questions sheet to help you answer some of the questions that you may have. Now all of this information has to be completed and returned with your fees to the DTSC within 30 days. So let's go back to the very beginning and understand why you have to complete this paperwork at the end of the calendar year. During each year you typically have loads of hazardous waste that need to be disposed of. You call your hazardous waste transportation company to come and pick it up for you. So the first thing you need to do is to complete your hazardous waste manifest form when you're disposing of your waste. Now if you're not able to do this, if you don't quite know how to fill in the form, your hazardous waste company should be able to help you with this and put the proper waste descriptions and coding in the correct boxes. Now this is very important, not only to ensure that the coding of the waste is correct, but you also want to avoid potential fines for not placing the codes in the actual box. If you actually touch the lines, there's a $25 fine associated with that. So you always want to make sure that you're putting your information into the boxes in the appropriate fashion. Once the hazardous waste manifest form has been completed, you need to sign the document, and then also your transportation driver has to sign the document as well. They will then give you a copy for your records, and you want to place this manifest form into a file folder or some other location that is marked open so you can easily get access to it. You will receive another copy of the hazardous waste manifest form back from the disposal facility once your waste has been disposed of, and more on this in a little bit. Once the transportation company leaves with your waste, they have 10 days with which to dispose of it in a designated facility. This is, of course, unless they've handed the waste off to another transport company, say to transport out of state. They have another 10 days to dispose of it from that point on. Once the transportation company has dropped off your waste at a designated facility, the facility will dispose of your waste and send you a copy of your original manifest plus a certificate of disposal if one was requested. Now, not all facilities will actually send you a certificate, so it's a good idea to actually request one at the time of disposal. Now, they will send the hazardous waste manifest back to you, signed, and with the codes that they've used to dispose of your waste at the base of the form. You should then match the facility's manifest up with your original manifest and place it into a closed file. Make sure you also place the certificate of disposal in there also. So an important point to remember here is that if the EPA number of your company is registered to your corporate office with an address in a different location than you are, the manifest form from the disposal facility will be sent to that corporate address. It will not be sent to your location. You will need to get a copy of the facility's manifest in your own file, because you will need to complete the EPA ID number verification questionnaire and have that form available to you. So by the end of the year, you should have all your manifests in a closed file ready for you to access. Now let's take a look at actually completing the EPA questionnaire form when you receive them towards the end of the year. You will receive approximately 3 pieces of information in your package. The first piece of paper will be the verification questionnaire, showing your company identification information and indicating you have the 30 days to complete the information and return it. The second one will be the Schedule A manifest calculation sheet, which is used to calculate your hazardous waste manifest fees for the calendar year in question. And third will be the Schedule B fees summary sheet, so you can determine the amount of EPA ID verification fees you owe. So as we mentioned earlier, you may also receive a frequently asked questions sheet in the package as well. So the first thing you need to do is to check on the EPA verification questionnaire and make sure that the information that the DTSC has provided is in fact correct. Check your EPA number, check your location address, and check your Board of Equalization number. Your Board of Equalization number will be used to send you a nice little bill for additional fees if you generated hazardous waste in the excess of 5 tons in the calendar year in question. So make sure you also sign the questionnaire at the base of the form so everything is in order. Next, we're going to fill out Schedule A. Make sure again you fill in the required information for your organization and your federal employer identification number. You'll see in this section of the form, information is given about the calendar period in question and the number of manifests that the DTSC has recorded for the EPA number that they have on file for you. In this particular case, we have 0 non-recycled manifests and 2 recycled manifests recorded. It is up to you now to calculate how many of your manifests are considered recycled and non-recycled hazardous waste manifest shipments. It's important to note the fine print here. You'll see that this section reads, if you believe the manifest count above is incorrect, you may cross out the pre-printed numbers and insert your revised numbers. Please note that any difference between the manifest counts you report and the manifest counts printed on Schedule A is subject to audit by the DTSC. Now that's a big one. If those numbers change on the calculations that you are about to make, you may be audited by the DTSC, especially if you are indicating lower numbers than what they show as recorded. So in our case, we have 4 non-recycled manifests for Section A, instead of the 0 count the DTSC indicates, and 0 non-recycled manifests for Section B. Now, how do we know we have 4 manifests that should be in the non-recycled category? Well, the first thing we have to do is to go back to the manifest form that came from the disposal facility and locate that information that was placed on the form by the facility in Section 19. Now again, it's worth pointing out here, if your EPA number is registered under your corporate address and you are in a different location than that, the completed manifest would be mailed to the corporate office and not you. So that's why you now need to have it at your facility so you can complete the questionnaire. So when we look at the hazardous waste manifest, we go back from the disposal facility. Take a look at Section 19 of your hazardous waste manifest form. You will see that they have placed codes in 2 of the boxes which correspond to the generator description boxes that you originally completed for each waste stream. You should then look at those codes in the DTSC Hazardous Waste Manifest Handling Codes list. Now if you don't have a copy of this list, you'll find a link in the article here that contains this video, and you will see a link there to get to that particular document. Now what we have to do is match up the codes. The far right column will tell you if the waste stream was considered recycled or not. Now here's another important point. All of the waste listed on the manifest must be recycled to qualify as recycled waste. If one waste stream is not considered recycled, then all the waste is considered non-recycled, and that's very important. So once you've completed Schedule A, then let's move on to completing Schedule B. Again, fill in the information concerning your organization and your federal employer identification number. You must also indicate the number of employees you have for your company. This is important in that you will be paying additional fees based on the number of employees that you have. Complete sections 4 through 7 based on the number of employees you have. Then take the amount you owe from Schedule A and place it into this section here in Schedule B. Next, in Section 2, put in the first 4 hazardous waste manifest tracking numbers of the non-recycled manifests that you are claiming for free. Now you can only claim the first 4 manifests as free if you have less than 100 employees. Do not call the DTSC for these manifest numbers. That is your responsibility. If you have any issues with trying to determine which ones they are, you should be able to contact your hazardous waste transportation company and get help on this. So complete the remainder of Schedule B and date the form. Now you write your check for all the fees that you owe and return all the necessary forms to the DTSC. Now please keep in mind that even if you do not owe any fees, you still need to complete the forms and return them to the DTSC. We hope you found this information helpful, but if you are still unsure about how to proceed or what to do with these forms, contact your hazardous waste transportation company and they should be able to help you and walk you through the process. Thank you.